Yo, yo, I'm in sunny California. Who's with me here today? Oh, yeah, that's right. Feel the sun on my face. I'm in Malibu. Malibu. I think I clicked on a minute or so early here. So, see a couple of y'all trickling in here. I'm actually not in the most scenic of places right now because I'm having a Wi-Fi issue. So I planned on being like, yeah, it's telling me my connection is weak right now. Hopefully that'll adjust itself here. Let's see if it gets better as I move around. Somebody type in there if they can hear me, please. Anyone? Can I be heard? Am I heard? All right, Josh is in San Diego watching. Cool. All right, I'm going to try to sit. I had a good spot, and then a bunch of skateboarders came over. Sat right next to me. That was cool. So I am in Malibu. Let me flip my camera here for you. I'm in front of this place called Le Village Cafe in Malibu. You can see all the nice houses way up in the hill over there. The beach is on the other side of all that stuff, the ocean. Here, let me hold my phone way up here. Hopefully you guys can see it way over there. Yeah. So I had planned on being over by the water. And I don't have a Wi-Fi signal down there. So it was rather difficult to try to pull this off. So anyway, glad you guys are with me here tonight. It is about 7:30, a little after mountain time in the mountains, but I'm on the West Coast. All right, so this spot's really great for my ADD right now because I got like skateboarders and people walking by and they're staring at me like I'm a moron. That's all right because I am a moron. The only thing I regret today, is that I don't have our rockin' tunes like the Foo Fighters and all that other stuff that we normally start this stuff with. So, pardon me for that. So I'm just going to dig in for the next few minutes here and talk about our topic here, alone, busy, and broke, close to broke. Ain't no way to run a business. Business. Who can say the business with me? Ain't business, is business. That's how we used to say it back in the hood. So, anyway, speaking of the hood, I got Tigo with me on this road trip. He's actually sitting in that, see that white minivan? Well, just beyond that is a black pickup, and he's sitting in there reading a book right now for me because this is the only place that we have Wi-Fi like I shared earlier. So anyway, let's just dig in here. And here's what's cool. I actually wrote my notes down for this amazing discussion tonight. I don't know if you can see this. This is the traffic citation warning that I got in New Mexico the other day, and I needed a piece of paper to jot my thoughts down today. And so I actually wrote my notes here on the back of my warning ticket from that really nice officer in New Mexico the other day when we were driving down here. It was Ossifer Wagner. He was a cool guy. And I'll tell you what got me out of the ticket was, and it was a great model for my son since he was with me, is the cop said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I said, "Because I was speeding, sir." And he took my license, and I might happen to have a Marine Corps veteran driver's license. Yeah, and that beautiful Marine Corps veteran license thing's got me out of 2 tickets in the last month. So anyway, once in Colorado, once in New Mexico. So listen, let's talk about growing your business, being a business owner that is a strong business owner who has a growing business, growing personal life, and things like that. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is being alone. Being alone as a business owner sucks. Give me a hell yes or something in there if you've ever been feeling like you're on that island all by yourself. Nobody understands you, what you're going through as an owner, as somebody who's out there just slugging it away and trying to make sense of all the garbage that is thrown at you day in and day out as you're trying to build a business. I mean, heck, you just started your painting business or landscaping business or, coffee shop or whatever you're doing. There you go, Corey, I got a hell yes. You just wanted to paint stuff, build stuff, make coffee, whatever. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of other problems showed up. And that is not part of what we signed up for when we did this. So I want to encourage you, if you are finding yourself isolating from other people, to really take some steps, some serious steps, to get involved somehow, somewhere with other strong entrepreneurs who are trying to grow their businesses and get better. Don't hang around with the people who are going to participate in any of your negative self-talk and all that. But I think you've got to be around other positive people that are actually a level or two higher than you, so that you will actually perform up to their level and their thinking instead of you hanging around a bunch of turkeys all the time. Listen, we do enough of our own negative self-talk. We tell ourselves that we're not smart enough, we're too ugly, we don't have enough money to do something in our business, on and on and on and on. Every day, we got this, you're an idiot coming down from a lot of us. Most people have that issue. Now, somebody who does not have that issue would be, okay, had a little connection issue there. So listen, Tiga, the other day, we go a couple nights ago, we're here in LA, Malibu area, and I'm hanging out with my BFF from the Marine Corps, Tabasco Sanchez, or as some of you know him, John McClellan. But John and his wife Nancy took us down to Hollywood. We walked around Hollywood, and Tiga actually went and bought, I wish I had it here, but we're not back at John's. Those little Grammy, Emmy statues, trophies, whatever they give people, right? Well, Tiga bought himself one, and it said, most amazing person, okay? So very few of us have the self-esteem that Tiga has just naturally. He's a guy that, just seems to think that he doesn't stink, right? So get around other people who are going to call you higher. Get around people who aren't going to let you, get away with your typical excuses and things like that. Find a group, find a mentor, do what it takes to not be isolated. We tend to get embarrassed when things aren't going the way we want them to go in our businesses, and we think that we're different than everybody else, and that's not the case. When you get around other people, a lot of times you find out that you are you're struggling with many of the same things that other people are. All right, so second thing I want to talk about is being busy as an entrepreneur. Okay, so being alone is no way to run your business. Can't do it alone. You need people to be your best. Second thing you need is you need to not be too busy. And what I mean by that is, listen, we all have the same 24 hours. You've heard that a million times. And we are famous for wasting tons and tons of time. We're all famous for wasting tons of time. And so please take the time to determine what the most high impact activities that you do are in your business, and chunk some time early in the day, each day, to get those things done. If it's prospecting, if it's writing a blog, if it's shooting a video, if it's making follow-up calls, if it's doing a pre-job planning meeting, whatever you have to do that always makes you money, make sure you do those things early in the day, consistently, and chunk out the time for them. Okay, you get to choose how you use your time. We're all going to get hijacked. We all have things that are going to, jump out of the bushes and try to knock us off track. All right, but when you take control of your schedule, treat these appointments with yourself to do the most important things you need to do. Treat them like you would treat a client meeting, because you put that on your calendar, don't you? And you actually show up. Well, you need to do the same thing for those things that are going to move you forward in your business. Not too long ago, I came to the realization that if I lived to be the average age of most guys in the United States, I'm actually somewhere around, I got about 1,500 weeks left. Okay, I'm 46, I'll be 47 in September. I got about 1,500, hopefully more, hopefully 20, 30% more, because I'd like to overachieve on that statistic. All right. But 1,500 weeks, I hear that and I freak out. I go, man, I don't have a lot of time. That's not a lot of time. So whatever time you have left, let's make sure that you use it and you go get what you want and set goals that are going to make you stretch and they're going to make you spend your time wisely and not just, wiggle around in mediocre land. Okay? I heard a quote the other day. What was the quote? I think it was, might have been Will Smith. I don't know. I'm probably going to butcher this. It was, I'm going to wreck it. I'm not even going to try. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you're glad that I'm just not even trying, because I don't even remember what it is. No thumbs up? Somebody? Anyone? 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 All right, thanks, Corey. You at least acknowledged me. All right, that's good. So check it out. You don't have much time left, and I don't mean to be, Debbie Downer about this whole thing, but our days here are limited, and if you have goals for yourself, you have goals for your family, you got to get a hold of your time. Don't settle for just being busy, okay? Make sure that the things that you're spending your time on have enough zeros behind them to make a difference in the bottom line of your life and of your business, all right? Third thing, since we're talking about bottom line, so many of us walk that line of being, having that just over broke. That's what job used to stand for. That's what they say. All right. Well, don't settle for that. Most people are up to their eyeballs in debt. Most people are living week to week. Most business owners, believe it or not, don't make much of a profit. And the reason is because they choose not to. So just the way we use our time, you can choose how you're going to make money and how much money you're going to make. How much money you're going to make. All right, listen, become a student of the math of your business. That's really as simple as it is. Okay, I remember years ago, I knew I really needed to know my numbers and understand the math and how a business worked, and I would literally drive around and I'd have a calculator in my hand as I'm driving around, and I'm like doing math of my business and job costing and things like that, and I wore my calculator out at red lights over the course of 4 or 5 years of trying to learn my math because it's important stuff. Okay? Again, most businesses, the majority of small businesses in America don't make more than $250,000 a year. And that's a shame because we live in an amazing place with amazing opportunities. And it's not real hard to make more money, you guys. Okay? All you got to do is actually communicate with people well. Don't show up being a moron. Be on time. Clean up, provide a great experience, and over-deliver, and those types, and then you're going to make the money because people are going to refer you. But most of us, we focus on everything else except all the things that surround our projects or the work that we do, and those are really the things that make the difference and get the phone to ring more. All right, so this money thing is big because a lot of us are afraid to talk about money, and so one of the things that we teach in our sales academy is by being open and honest and having real conversations with people, you can actually get back some of your time and you can make more money just by being open with a prospect on the telephone. So let me give you an example. If somebody calls, if I sell, somebody tell me what I sell. What do I sell? Way in here. It's like a seagull's going to take a crap on me here in a minute, I think. Can't see me now. Uh-oh. How about now? Anything? All right, well, let's pretend. Ponds. All right, Bill, thanks. I sell ponds. All right, I sell backyard koi ponds, and if somebody calls me up and they say, hey, I'd like you to come out and give me an estimate on a pond. Okay, guys, this could be, I know I use this example all the time, it could be paint jobs, it could be websites, whatever. Somebody calls and they want you to come out and tap dance and explain why they should hire you. Okay, slow down. This is going to get your time back and help you sell more and make more money because your best time is going to be spent on higher impact things like this. So if somebody calls and they want to bid on a pond, Bill, and they say, Yeah, come out and give me an estimate. I'd like to have a koi pond in my backyard. Ask some questions. Ask, what prompted them calling now? Why do they want a koi pond? Have they ever had a koi pond before? When they're done with the project, regardless of who they hire to do their pond, how are they going to know that they hired the right company? All these types of questions are going to give you the ammo needed to really determine whether or not you're a good fit for them. We've talked about that before, that's your number one goal of the sales process is, are you a good fit? Once you understand that, now you do what's called bracketing. Okay, because listen, I'm a consumer, you're a consumer, and the consumers are consumers. And you know what one thing we have in common? What's the one thing all consumers have in common? Somebody weigh in here. I know somebody's going to get it. And I'm going to take a sip of my caramel iced vanilla coffee that's really not that good because I don't drink these very often. What do all consumers have in mind? What do we all have in common? I'm sorry. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not going to keep you waiting. We are all liars. Okay? We're all liars. Every single one of us. So if I call you, Bill, and I say, hey, I'd like a bid on a koi pond, and you came right out and said, hey, Tom, what's your budget? I would lie to you. I would tell you something $2,000 to $3,000, $5,000 less than I really want to spend. And it's not because I'm an evil, wicked devil worshiper or anything like that. The reason is because consumers are terrified of salespeople. Okay? Somebody just put in there they hate being sold. Absolutely. They're terrified of salespeople because they're afraid to tell you their budget. Because if they tell you your budget, if they tell you their budget, all right, you are going to do what? You're going to go right up to the very edge of that budget. And so they lie and they tell you that it's way lower than what it usually is, than what it really is. All right, so on this conversation, Bill, that you have with somebody, you understand what's important to them. And now you're going to do a thing called bracketing. So this is where the flares go up in the air. And all you that salespeople are listening right now, this is a guaranteed way to make more money per transaction, is you bracket your services. This is not a game. This is not some slimy technique. This is an honest-to-God, real conversation. So you say, Bill, listen, I got one of two things I can do here for you based on what you're telling me that's important to you. The first is, I could blow your mind and make your backyard the envy of the neighborhood that's in magazines and all that good stuff in your community, but to do that, it's probably going to be, I don't know, $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 for something like that in your backyard, some sort of a water feature. Or, Bill, on the other end, the other way that we can approach this is we could build something that meets your needs, maybe scaled down a little smaller, not so many bells and whistles, but still gives you everything you told me, and that might be $15,000 to $18,000. Here's the key question. Bill, which conversation does it make the most sense for us to have right now? And you know what Bill's going to do and every other consumer? They're going to tell you, that's freaky, isn't it? They're going to tell you their budget because they're going to either say, well, that higher end number's way out of line and that lower number's even twice as much as we thought it was going to be, or whatever. Or they might say, hey, that lower number sounds better about what we were thinking. Okay, so without asking them directly what their budget is, you give them a range. You give them 2 prices on the high end, 2 prices on the low end, and they bracket themselves within that. I promise you that this will help you make more money every time. And it's also going to help you not run around so much, not do so many proposals and things like that. I just came from a painting event in San Diego that we were at last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it was. And I can't tell you how many conversations I had with painting contractors, where I used to be one of them, okay, many moons ago back in Chicago. Guys, these guys are up until 11, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., typing up bids just in the hope that they're going to get a project. And that is no way to run your business, all right? Because number one, you're alone at 1 a.m. doing that. Number two, you're wasting your time. You're just being busy because it's really not getting you anything unless you've properly pre-qualified them. And chances are, if you're just typing up bids, pecking away, typing up a proposal and tap dancing for people. You don't have the right mindset about money, and you're afraid that your prices are going to be too high, and you're going to shortchange yourself and hose your checkbook and your bank account and all that stuff. And you're going to end up doing a project, God forbid you win the job, because now you're probably not going to make that much money, and they're going to be way more demanding than they normally would have been had you properly pre-qualified them. So listen, guys, we need other people in our lives. We have to have other people in our lives if we're running a business. It's lonely out here, okay? Your employees are amazing people. You can't produce what you produce without your people, but no matter how great they are, they're not an owner. They're not an owner, and they truly are not going to understand all the things that you're going through. So find other ways to get tight with other owners, all right, and lean on them and ask them to hold you accountable and call you higher, all right? Make sure that you are massively selective about how you're using your time every day, okay? Don't waste it, okay? You don't have that much time left. If you're like me, you only got like 1,500 weeks or something like that left. That's freaky. That's freaky. All right, you can be going and hanging out with your kids or something rather than running around doing stupid crap you don't get paid for. All right, and the third thing is being close to broke sucks. I've been there. I've been bankrupt. I've made really good money, and I've made no money. And I can tell you that making money, here's a good one, making money and making a profit is way cooler than not making money. Okay, give me an amen if you agree with that one, right? All right, so apply something that you heard here today, okay? Seek out some help if you need it, even if you don't think you need it. Get around some other people, get another perspective, protect your time, and charge more money. Bracket. And listen, one last thing on this bracketing. This is not some sales game where you're trying to squeeze as much money you can out of people. What you're doing is you're trying to understand their needs, and then you deliver and you charge the amount of money that it's going to take to deliver and give them more than what they wanted. And when they do, they're going to feel like they got more than what they paid for, and you're going to look like a hero, and you're going to have money left over for profit. And profit can do some really cool things. All right, profit can pay down debt. Profit can put money in the bank so that you can build your own credit line as a business so you don't have to borrow money. Profit can buy cool things for your family or your employees, or have a profit sharing plan. Some companies have help other people fund adoptions through profit. Profit is not a nasty word, okay? So it's a good thing to make profit. And with that, you guys, I am out from sunny Malibu, California, sitting by Le Village Cafe. I think that's how you say it, right? Somebody who speaks French. All right. That was French, too. That was really good French. All right. So with that, you guys, I'm out. We'll see you guys on Thursday night at 7:30 Mountain Time. And here's what I would like to do. I would like somebody who's watching this to weigh in the comments about some questions that they would like addressed on the next Reber Live, which is this Thursday. Okay, I have a bunch of topics lined up. I have a bunch of stuff in the queue to help you out, but I want to hear from you guys about what you would like to hear, what questions. Maybe we make this next Thursday a Q&A on Reber Live, and we will see you guys Thursday, whatever the date is, at 7:30 Mountain Time. Hasta la Cuervo de Pasta.